Now, here is High and Low, one of the most acclaimed and one of my several favourites of Kurosawa's legendary body of work. It takes far further the directorial styles, its precise framing of interiors and character interactions in post-war, Western industrialised, metropolitan, slick, professional mid-20th century Japan. Though a pride demonstrated in 60s Bad Sleep Well, I believe that, along with the aforementioned Bad Sleep Well, this is one of the best scripts the great master ever worked with. It likely could have been a rather great film if any author or any other professional film director in Japan had helmed it, though Kurosawa has ensured its status as an impactful, riveting masterpiece. Kurosawa assisted in writing the script, though is one of 4 credited individuals. With a film like this, I am nearly or mostly at a loss of what to write regarding it. I could tell you that it achieves an enviable level of quality. Of course, everyone already knows that it passes this ethereal threshold of greatness or of classic quality. I won't be sharing any new insight where this is concerned. It is at these times I wish I could type out something like what that bouncy, often stimulating, unpredictable late 20th century philosophic rock god Gilles Deleuze has about this picture. Kurosawa says that the most difficult time for him is before the character starts to act. To get to that point, I need to think for several months. But indeed, this is only difficult because it is difficult for the character himself. He first had to have all the givens. This is why Kurosawa's films often have 2 clearly distinct parts. The first, a long exposition, and the second, when senseless, brutal action begins. Stray Dog, Heaven and Hell. Heaven and Hell is High and Low. This is also why Kurosawa's space can be a contracted theatrical space, where the hero has all the givens before him and keeps them in view in order to act. The Bodyguard, that's Yojimbo. This is why, finally, the space expands and forms a great circle which joins the world of the rich and the world of the poor, the heights and the depths, heaven and hell. An exploration of the lower depths must take place at the same time as an exposition of the heights in order to trace this circle of the large form crossed laterally by a diameter in which the hero is and moves. Heaven and Hell, High and Low. But if there were nothing else, Kurosawa would merely be a distinguished director who developed the large form and could be understood according to the Western criteria which have become classical. His exploration of the lower depths might correspond accurately to the criminal or miserabilist film. His great circle of the world of the poor and the world of the rich might reflect the liberal humanist conception which Griffith was able to impose both as a given of the universe and as a foundation of montage, and indeed, this Griffithian version exists in Kurosawa. There are rich and poor, and they ought to understand each other, come to a mutual agreement. Or do I? I really envy what people who've never tried to make a film are willing to assume about them. I'm never sure if they consider the composers to be geniuses or vaguely irrelevant vassals for psycho-libidinal manifestations. I'll never ever forget what the mighty Greek author Nikos Nikolaitis claimed in regard to a certain critical appraisal of his mesmerizing, unnerving picture Eurydice BA 2037. Certain intellectual Italian critics asserted that Eurydice BA 2037 applies and finally proves Lyotard's cinematographic theories, as well as the solution to many of the problems which puzzled Pasolini's for years. I am embarrassed because I didn't know then, and I still don't know anything about Lyotard's theories or Pasolini's problems. We touched upon that film in the first year of this channel, and I brought that quote up during that particular upload. Perhaps I ought to embark upon some audiobooks of some of those texts. Maybe I'll let it influence some of the writing on this channel, and not because I even feel as though the channel will rise to some intellectual revelation if I do so, but just because it seems like rather good fun.